This is the thing that kills me every time, right? I'd have clients that would ask me about the advanced stuff and not really hone in on the basic shit. You know what I'm saying? It would be like they would spend hours trying to find out the perfect uh window for protein, the optimal protein window. Is it 4 hours, is it 3 hours, or even right? Or even something along those lines. What supplement should I take? But either they're not getting enough sleep or their diet is not on point. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, this is a constant thing that I've noticed. And it really grind my gears sometimes. Not even sometimes, like all the time. You know what I'm saying? And I realize people do that. It's not because they're lazy and it's not that they don't care per se, but it's more so they think the solution is in the complexity of what they're trying to find, right? And I keep telling them all the time, and not I keep telling them this. I find that to be the complexity of simplicity. That's what I call it. You know what I'm saying? And most times, the answer of what we're looking for is very simple. Once they actually start doing what I subscribe or prescribe to them, pardon me, it's like, oh, that's it. I'm like, yeah, I've been telling you this like since day one. It's like they get a ha ha moment. Oh, now I get it. So today we're going to talk about the complexity of simplicity. All right. So the reason why we make it harder, maybe for some strange reason, we think that the more we work at something, the greater the reward. If you look at nature, nature's not like that. It's really simple. It's just consistency. That's what really makes nature the way it is. Plant a seed, water it in the right soil at the right time. It goes into the ground, comes up, voila, you get flowers or produce, right? Example. That's for an example, right? But the simple solutions require you just to start, and most people have a hard time doing that. And and the reason why I think it's challenging to start or they try to overcomplicate it because facing when you just start, you face the possibility that it might not work or you might not stick with it. That's why so complexity gives you a place to hide, right? So you get to research instead of act, right? It's like analysis paralysis, right? So they plan instead of training, they optimize instead of eating the vegetables, right? It's just crazy how things work, right? So, like I said, with clients, right, they would ask me for like advanced periodization models before they even get 8,000 steps a day or 10,000 steps a day, right? They'll ask me about peptides and all kind of shit. I'm like, did you get enough sleep? How's your sleep? Oh, I ain't sleeping well. But you worried about peptides? You worried about external supplements? Like really? It don't work like that, man. The math ain't mathing, and it's not like these things do not help. I'm all for it. However, you have to get the basics down packed. Your sleep, your protein, your steps in, your water, just the boring stuff, right? The boring things that get you the elite results. Yes, I did a video on that. I think sometimes we do the premature stuff before we actually do what we're supposed to do. It's like you're trying to go to trigonometry and calculus before you even know addition, multiplication, subtraction, and addition. Make it make sense, right? You got to know the basics first, you know? So, like, even in the gym, for example, the complexity shows up in program hopping, where everyone's trying to figure out, oh, what's the new split every 6 weeks because the progress is slow, right? But the actual issue is that when I see that, I'm like, are you tracking enough? Tracking your lifts. Are you eating enough protein? Are you sleeping enough to recover? All these things that you're supposed to monitor, they don't monitor. And as the saying goes, if you're not tracking, you're slacking, right? And this is why coaches always program something for 12 weeks, a minimum. Some say 8, but 12 to 16 weeks. That's why most programs are like that because it helps you to track and you have something to go off of. It's like your North Star. When I ask clients, how's your eating? Oh man, it's okay. I'm like, dude, I'm looking right at you. I'm reading your facial expression. You tracked? Nah, I ain't tracked. So I'm supposed to take what you say on face value, but yet the scale is not moving. The body fat percentage is not going down. Your clothes still are tight on you. your energy level um is still low because you're not getting enough sleep. Come on, man. We got to do better, right? So, you know, when it comes to finding the solution, like I said, it's very simple. And we make it harder, really, by things that I think because it's the fear of the unknown and it comes with what if it doesn't work? But deeper than that, too, I think it's just we don't want accountability for it. So it's easy to blame someone else. That's it at the end of the day. Oh, you told me to do XYZ, so it didn't work. You see, I'm not the problem. So you want to shift the blame onto somebody. But if you really was honest with yourself and did what it requires of you, how simple those things are, then it's up to you. Then the blame falls onto you for you not being as successful. You see what I'm saying? That that's my observation, right? But the irony is a simple path, but we make it harder, right? The hard part in it is just to sustain it, the consistency. You know what I mean? How well you can do that. And another thing too, when people miss one day, they'll throw off their whole week off that shit. Oh, I messed up. I ate bad on Monday, so I'm gonna start again on Monday, next Monday. So you just gonna mess up the other 6 days? No, you fall down, you correct it because it's a relationship with yourself at the end of the day that you're trying to acquaint yourself with. Relationship one with yourself and then with your food. That's it. But you have to be consistent. And this is just not limited to fitness as well. You know what I'm saying? If you watch people who are unhappy in their relationships, all of a sudden now they need to get the 5 love languages or some type of attachment theory book, right? Instead of just talking to their partner or whoever they're involved with. Hey, this is XYZ, this is bothering me. Or as simple as that. If you're stressed out at work, I see it all the time where people be like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. Why are you overwhelmed? Oh, they keep giving me X amount of work. Tell them no. Just say no without any explanation. No, I can't do this right now. I have a lot going on. We always think it's about addition, but sometimes it's subtraction. I told you, mathematics, everything is mathematics. Don't overcomplicate this shit. You add more than you can handle, pardon me, it's going to overwhelm you. Just start subtracting. If you can't get certain things done, stop looking for distraction, eliminate the distractions, and keep it pushing. As simple as that, man. I swear, that's how you become more productive, really. And I've learned that too. But we use complexity as a buffer between us and the vulnerable. And that's the key word, right? Because the simple action that would actually solve the problem, right? So us being vulnerable is not in a weakened state, like, oh my God, I'm sitting there crying, shut up my tears. Vulnerability to me means just being honest with yourself. That's all it is. And that is a superpower. I did a video on that like years ago too. Like vulnerability is about being honest with who you are and what you're trying to accomplish and your intentions. And life would be so much easier when you move like that. That's your North Star. So when you're being vulnerable, think about being truthful with yourself. Don't overcomplicate this, man. I'm telling you, look at nature. It's simple. It's not complicated. And that doesn't mean because it's simple, it negates challenges. Because you have to have challenges. That's how you build character, like through resistance, right? But I'll talk about that in another video though. But start being vulnerable with yourself, man. You know? So next time you feel like you have something to do and you're procrastinating, you're trying to find it to be complex, ask yourself why you find this uh, complex, why you have a hard time moving out on this, right? So are you saying, ask yourself this, are you making this complicated because it needs to be, or you're because you feel like it's too simple to be vulnerable, right? And that's where you're gonna find the truth because it's within you. Everything, like they said, the kingdom is within you, right? You could build it with your hand and it's at hand. So find out what you want to do, but you have to be honest with yourself at the end of the day and stop overcomplicating stuff. All right. So let me know. And let me say this too. 9 times out of 10, we already know what we got to do. We already know the answer. Stop looking for confirmation bias or another reason not to do shit. Just do it and get it over with. Trust me. And you know what I'm talking about because we all have been there, right? So stop avoiding the complexity to find the answer. All right. That's it. Go. So let me know, guys. This week, find something that you was overcomplicating, just one, and strip it down to the boring, obvious version, and then tell me in the comments, man. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this. You know what I mean? Because I read your comments and the engagement. All right. The beauty in the no, not beauty in, but the complexity, right? It's called the complexity of simplicity. Just keep it simple, man. Trust me, your life would be so much easier. I kid you. I kid you not. You know what I mean? All right. And I'm gonna say this too, because I watch like dating coaches and stuff like that because I like the dynamics. And sometimes when they call in, I'm sure you guys something. They'll call into the show and they're like, "Oh, can you tell me this one line to get this girl's attention to get this girl?" They're like, "No, I can't tell you a line." Right? They're like, it don't work like that. We all want a magic pill, like I said, to suspend the responsibility of for us of doing the work. Right? As teachers and coaches, right? We're supposed to give you the tools for you to go out and figure it out for yourself, so to speak. Right? To take the material that you are and try to mold it and give you the tools so you can start building and through trial and error, you'll know, okay, this is what I'm looking for. All right. And it's simple like that. But I hope that makes sense for you. But like I said, put what you're struggling in the comments. I love to read it. And let me hear how you plan to overcome it. All right. So this is Alchemy Fitness signing off from Let to Gold. Right. Train hard, train smart, and train safe. Until next time. Peace.